Well, the 2025 season of the IMSA WeatherTech SportsCar Championship is officially finished. And now it's time to think about the next year. And we have the full entry list revealed by IMSA for the 2026 season in all the 4 classes, with a lot of teams going to one more year, and also new teams joining, but unfortunately there are some leaving the category. What about checking all the teams? Let's begin with the GTD. 19 cars are confirmed at the moment next year, being 14 full season entries and 5 only for the endurance rounds. The first team we will talk about is the number 12 Vasser Sullivan team. At the first moment, the team will still be using the old Lexus RCF GT3. That's because the new Toyota GT3 seems not to be ready on time for the sanction tests at Daytona in November. AWA number 13 will have a name change and will be called now as 13 Motorsports, launched by the bronze driver Ori Fidani. The team will still be using the Corvette Z06 GT3 R car. Riley is changing the class next year and will be competing in the GTD, after being in the LMP2 in the 2025 season. The Mooresville-based team will be using a Ford Mustang GT3 next year. After competing only in the endurance rounds this year, Van der Stuur Racing now becomes a full-season team in the GTD class for the 2026 season. They will still be using the Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3 Evo car. AF Course will be back for one more season at IMSA for the endurance races only, using the number 21, with a Ferrari 296 GT3 Evo car. TriRC Competizione will return next year, but only with a single car in the GTD class and for the endurance rounds. One more full-season team which will be returning next year in the GTD class is the Heart of Racing team, using the number 27 with an Aston Martin Vantage AMR GT3 Evo car. Conquest Racing returns for one more year in the GTD class, also as a full-season effort, using a Ferrari 296 GT3 Evo car. Manny Franco is the only driver confirmed. DXDT Racing will be another team which will be using a Corvette GT3 car in the GTD class. They will also be a full-season team. Wayne Taylor Racing is also returning as a full-season effort in the GTD class. In the first moment, the team will still be using the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2 and will not migrate to the new Temerario GT3 so early. Windward Racing will be the only Mercedes full-season team in the GTD class next year in IMSA. The number will still be 57. Gradient Racing, alongside Riley, will be the other team which will be using a Ford Mustang GT3 car. The number will be 66. No changes for the Inception Racing next year, which will be using a Ferrari 296 GT3 car, with the same trio with Brendan Iribe, Ollie Milroy and Frederick Schandorf. Lone Star Racing number 80, with a Mercedes GT3 car, will return next year only for the endurance rounds like it was in 2025. Dragon Speed will be returning to the GTD in 2026, after competing in the GTD Pro class this year with a partnership with Risi Competizione. Now the Florida-based team will compete on its own and is back to the GTD, after racing in 2024 at Indianapolis. Now there comes a new entry, the RS1. This team will be only in endurance races in the GTD class next year. RS1 competes in the Michelin Pilot Challenge with a Cayman GT4 car, and also in the GT World Challenge America with a Porsche GT3 car. Turner Motorsport is the only BMW team confirmed in the GTD class next year in IMSA. They will compete as a full-season effort. Wright Motorsports will also return next year in the GTD class with the number 120, using a Porsche GT3 car. And finally Manthey Racing, which will be a new entry in the GTD class, but only for the endurance rounds. The bronze driver Ryan Hardwick is the only one at the moment confirmed in the lineup. Now comes the absences for the 2026 season. Next year, we will not see the return of Korthoff Competition Motors, Magnus Racing, Chetler Racing, Forte Racing and Iron Dames. Korthoff left the GTD class this year from Road America and beyond. Magnus Racing, we still don't know yet if they will return as a one-off entry in 2026. Chetler Racing seems to be moving to the LMP2 class outside America. Forte Racing could be migrating to the GT World Challenge America in 2026. And Iron Dames, unfortunately we might not see in 2026, considering that Iron Lynx could be facing financial issues and didn't compete at Indianapolis and Road Atlanta this year. "13 cars are confirmed in the GTD Pro class for the IMSA 2026 season at the moment, with 8 as a full season entry, 4 for endurance races and a single one for Daytona only. Paul Miller Racing will have only a single car in 2026, using the number 1. However, at the moment, the team didn't confirm which manufacturer they will be working with next year. There are rumors that Paul Miller could be switching for Lamborghini or McLaren in 2026. Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports will go to one more season in the GTD Pro class, with the Corvette Z06 GT3R. They will have 2 cars on the grid, using the numbers 3 and 4. Pfaff Motorsports number 9 is also confirmed for the 2026 season in the GTD Pro class. For the Daytona round, the Canadian team will still use the Lamborghini Huracan GT3 Evo 2 car. From the Sebring round and beyond, Pfaff will use the new Temerario GT3 car. Like in the GTD class, Vasser Sullivan will also use the old Lexus RCF GT3 car at the first moment, for the GTD Pro effort, using the number 14. TriRC Competizione will be stepping up one of their cars in the GTD Pro class next year, with the car number 033, but only for the endurance rounds. Who's back in the GTD Pro class is Risi Competizione. After supporting Dragon Speed in 2025, the Houston-based team will be back as its own, but only for the endurance rounds next year. Now the Blue Oval Company in the GTD Pro class. They will continue with the Multimatic Motorsports using 2 cars, the numbers 64 and 65. Then we go for a Mercedes entry in the GTD Pro class. Get Speed with the number 69 will be returning in 2026, but only for the Rolex 24 at Daytona. But this will not be the only Mercedes car in the GTD Pro next year, because 75 Express team will also be, but only for the endurance rounds. The most famous dinosaur in motorsports will be returning for one more season in the GTD Pro class with AO Racing number 77 Rexy car. But this will not be the only Porsche entry in the GTD Pro class, because Manthey is also joining with the famous Grello car. But this is an endurance entry only. In next weeks, we might probably expect for more entries in the GTD Pro class because there are rumors that Random Vandals Racing, who competes with BMW GT3 car in the GT World Challenge America, and Rahal Letterman Lanigan, after ending its partnership with BMW in the GTP class, can join the grid for the next season. In the LMP2 class, there will be 12 cars featured for the next season with some important changes. First, let's talk about who will remain in the LMP2 class next year with no changes. It's the case for the United Autosports, which will be the only team to have 2 cars in 2026, with the cars number 2 and number 22. CrowdStrike Racing by APR goes to one more season next season with the number 04. Same thing for the Tower Motorsports, which will be using the number 8. TDS Racing will also continue in the LMP2 class next year, but Stephen Thomas will be stepping away from IMSA in 2026. Era Motorsport will be in the LMP2 class in 2026, and the team is looking for a new bronze driver for the next season. No changes too for the Inter Europol competition in the LMP2 class next year at IMSA. The Polish team intends to keep the same drivers from this year. Pratt Miller will go to the second year in the LMP2 class, using the number 73. And the new LMP2 champion, AO Racing, will still be in the class with the famous Spike livery. Now here comes the changes for the LMP2 class next year. Intersport Racing, which competed in the past at the former America Le Mans Series, is joining the LMP2 class next year, using the number 37. They will have a partnership with HMD Motorsports. PR1 Mathiasen will be joining forces with Brian Herta Autosport, still using the number 52 in 2026. This will be a preparation for the potential entry in the GTP class, using the Genesis LMDH prototype. And after competing in Road America as a one-off entry, Team Tonus will become a full season effort in the LMP2 class next year. Who are leaving the LMP2 at IMSA next year are Riley, which will be switching to the GTD class, using a Mustang GTD, and also Gar Robinson will not be competing full season next year. And AF Course was not listed. We still don't know yet if the Italian team will be joining later. And finally the GTP, which is top class in IMSA. In 2026, we will see 11 cars and only 5 manufacturers involved, with Lamborghini leaving the class after the Italian brand decided to pause the LMDH program. After changes in 2024 and in 2025, Acura will keep the same as it was this year for the 2026 season, with Meyer Shank Racing being the team operator with the numbers 60 and 93. No changes too for the Aston Martin Heart of Racing team, which will still have one Valkyrie LMH prototype next year. BMW will have a change in the team operator, with WRT replacing Rahal Letterman Lanigan in 2026. The German brand and RLL ended a partnership after 15 years together in American sportscars racing. And now, WRT will have a double effort with the M Hybrid V8 at WEC and IMSA next year. Cadillac will keep the same in 2026 with Wayne Taylor Racing having 2 cars, and a single car by Action Express Racing, under the name Cadillac Whelan. After announcing that it is leaving WEC Hypercar in 2026, at least we will see Porsche Penske Motorsport factory effort in the GTP class next season with 2 cars, with the numbers 6 and 7. And Porsche will have only a customer car, by JDC Miller Motorsports using the number 85. Unfortunately, the Proton competition will not return next year. And there are rumors about the reason of the team leaving the GTP is because they're trying to have 2 cars in WEC in 2026. So guys, these are all the cars and teams confirmed at the moment which will be competing at IMSA in 2026. In about next weeks, we can have more videos with updated entry list for the IMSA 2026 season. So stay tuned on this channel. And if you want to watch more videos about IMSA and WEC, consider subscribing to the channel to not lose them. We see you in the next videos.